Hey everybody, I'm Ian Cook, the host of the Soft Boy Social, the podcast where I and two friends, Dustin and Mark, talk about whatever the fuck we want to for about 40 to 45 minutes, or if we're feeling frisky, until we just don't feel like talking anymore. We do this every goddamn week. Thanks for tuning in. This week on the agenda, we've got a few things. We've got, as always, the mental health check. I'm drawing a blank.
Music.
Music. Yeah. Music. Stuff people say that really just annoys or pisses us off. Like comments, like shit people use way too often, like overuse it to the point where it doesn't mean anything. It's just something that people say. You know what I mean? And then the third, just some food for thought. You know, the statement of the day: you use the body you have, not the body you want. You know what I mean? So we'll go ahead and we'll dive into that first one, music. Fucking music, right? That shit's pretty banging.
Pretty banging.
I don't know what you guys expected.
It up.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys expected.
Should we introduce our new addition?
Oh, I guess that's kind of important for you.
Yeah,
guys,
we should probably do that before we cut the music.
Who the hell's that?
That's you, dingus.
Oh shit, that's neat.
Yeah, right.
All right, what up? I'm Mark, and this is my first time learning that my buddy's name is Ian Cook.
That's true. We've known each other for. I've known you for the least amount of time, I think, Mark, but I've known Dustin for a while. I'm also stream sharing to you guys in Discord my MS Paint now, so you guys can tell me what to paint while the podcast goes on. And if you came here and saw me pull up MS Paint and you thought, oh boy, I'm gonna get to see an artist at work, you are sorely mistaken. I am not an artist. I'm just someone who doesn't have a banner or background, and so to fill that empty gap, I'm going to draw things.
I have a suggestion.
I'm open.
Can you fight, or can you draw a knight fighting a dragon?
I will fucking do my best.
All right, awesome. There you go.
All right, so we'll start.
Now we have a goal. Now we have something we can watch him and.
Yeah. Now we have a base here, and there's something we can.
No, keep talking.
We've all got ideas in our mind. All right, so we want to talk about music first.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch this.
All right, so first things off, let's just talk about what music means to us. Ian, would you like to start?
So yeah, sure. So music for me is and always has been, for lack of a better word, I guess, like an escape. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna start over on these legs, and an escape might be the wrong word, I guess, but I use music to like hang out after a bad day and like generally just like chill when I need to, you know what I mean? And I'm still erasing, goddammit. And that's too small. God damn it. God damn it. Oh fuck. Shit.
I don't know. What have you done? What have you done?
I switched tools.
There's
anyway,
no going back.
No, keep
We're
going.
Screwed.
Just use a different tool.
All right, we're starting over. That's not right.
Hey everyone, welcome to Ian Cook Can't Even Draw on MS Paint, the podcast.
Imagine not being able to draw MS Paint in the year 2019.
Oh man.
Music. You guys beat my ass, by the way. Music is and always has been just a really banging way to learn more about the world and to escape from the problems. So it is escapism. What I said earlier was wrong. I use it to escape, eat my ass.
Yeah, that's always definitely one use. I've always explained. I've always said to people, I'm like, if I'm going for a walk or a bike ride or something like that, if I'm not around media of any kind or talking to anybody, I'm plugged in. Like I'm listening to music and things like that. My life always needs to have a background of something. Which, I mean, you can get on my ass and say, like, oh, you can't be alone with your thoughts for 2 seconds, huh? No, I can't. So, so that's that.
No,
but
that's fair.
Yeah. One thing I really love about it, I'm one of those people where people ask me, like, oh, what's your favorite genre? And I'll just be like, Fuck, I don't know. And oh, are you one of those people that say everything? No, because I don't like everything. But also, I like way too many genres. And what happens? The reason why that is, because if you ask me in elementary school, I'd tell you in a second. Be like, yeah, I like rock music. And then if you ask me in high school, I'd be like, well, I like this particular brand of rock music. And then if you ask me in college, something else, and so on and so forth. Every stage of my life, I discover something new and some awesome new genre that I didn't know existed. And so at this point, when I'm fucking approaching my 30s, I'm like, yep, I've listened to way too many genres to like just one, and I'm all over the place. My favorite style of music will change every year by the passing of time. That's what's so awesome.
I agree. I think that's kind of I think that's kind of true for everybody. You know what I mean? Is that people like to hop on other people's asses for saying, "Oh, well, I like every genre of music." But as you get older, it's not that you like every genre of music. It's just that you like music. Like
yeah, and you've heard so many by that point. You're like, oh, I have to pick one genre. What the fuck? There's too many great ones that exist.
Oh man, you've really threw me a curveball with this dragon because like the horse and the rider already ain't doing so high.
It doesn't have to be a big dragon.
Oh, it doesn't have to be. All right.
No.
All right. Well, I like in my head canon this is a blue dragon with white eyes.
Imagine making a blue dragon with a brown outline. Sorry, that's the knight. That makes sense.
I know. All right. So music for me is a lot of different things. It's like we've already covered. It's a good outlet. It's a good escape. I did a lot of running. Likely will continue to run for most of my life, unless one of my knees decides to kerfuffle and no longer work. So music has been a pretty big part of that. But music is also, for me, a big part of who I am. Not so much in like this is me personally, but like culturally speaking. Like I honestly, the last few years, I've started to listen to so much different folk music. Like it's insane. Half the stuff that I listen to isn't even in English because I don't know. I just feel connected with it.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah, like it's weird, right? But my favorite band, they don't even like they sing in Norwegian. It's like you can't understand a word they're saying, But it's important to me, and it makes me feel proud to be who I am. I listen. I probably consume way more bagpipes than the daily amount that is suggested. Yeah, I'm getting like really big portions of bagpipes. All right, just bagpipes and bagpipes.
Music is banging. Though. No reason to,
it is though,
and disrespect it.
And so like music is definitely an escape and definitely something to like use, just because it's great. But like, it's also like a big part of particular cultures. You know what I mean? Like every culture has a different type of music, a different specific instrument that they use differently, a different way to sing, a different language that they sing in. And honestly, like I remember in high school having this argument with a choir boy who was like, "Oh, well, being able to understand the words in a song makes the song so much more beautiful."
Doesn't.
And I was
it does not.
Because getting to listen to a song that's in a different language, you may not understand what that person is saying, but you can still get a read on what the song is and kind of feel the emotion through the singing regardless. Like it's not just about the words and what you can comprehend.
Exactly.
It's so much more than that. And being able to listen to different languages is huge, because I think it's a big part of the character of that song, of the character of that specific genre, whatever it is. And it's wild, man. Like I love music that isn't in English, because there's so much more like thinking that you have to do about the song. It's not just about, oh yeah, it's about this because this is what the lyrics say to me. Like, no, if you want to know what the actual lyrics are, you look them up. Like, you actually have to like dig into things, you know,
Yeah.
and interpret things for yourself because it's not in something you understand.
I
And there
finished.
may not be a translation that makes sense. I like the drag. Yo, can we give the dragon little itty bitty legs?
Oh fuck yeah! I only did like the mouth of the dragon, but if I just expand this a little bit,
Oh, yep, there we
Yeah.
go.
More
I'll,
often than not, translating a song makes it lose something.
that's what I was
I
trying
think
to. That's what I was gonna
yeah.
get at is that sometimes having the ability to understand a song's words or like the vocals of a song will only detract from a song, because sometimes, as someone who speaks English as like a native speaker of English, you hear a lot where you might like the beat of a song or like the hype of a song or the mood of the song, right? But then you listen to the words and the words are dumb as shit, bro. And nothing will kill a better song with an amazing beat, with amazing background vocals, with like amazing everything than shitty lyrics. And if you just can't understand those lyrics, that ain't a problem.
That's a fair point, actually. You kind of going in almost the other direction, but yes, you're right. Sometimes the lyrics are just crap. And you'll love this. So next week I'm getting married, and she's going to be walking down the aisle to just the baggiest bagpipes ever.
Fuck yeah, bro.
I'm
It
proud
is.
to be no other way to get married.
Honestly,
Because
though.
that's her background. She's Scottish. She's very heavy Scottish. Actually, she's Canadian to the core, but if you go far back enough, you get Scottish. My fiance is Canadian before Canada was even Canada. Back when it was fucking a bunch of British ass colonies. Her
How would-
family lived here.
Real quick, how are those legs?
Can we get some calves in there?
Oh, bro, hold on. You can
Yeah,
continue.
we need some stronger legs.
Oh, I'll work on the legs then. All right. I didn't understand they were so important. My bad. Keep going.
And on the subject, the playlist for the wedding is probably the most work I've done for the wedding. Is working on the playlist because shit, man, that's how much I fucking love music. I'm like, I can't just put together a bunch of songs that I like or popular songs for weddings or whatever. Throw it all on an iPod, give it to somebody, and say, hey, here's 8 hours of music. Just play 4 of it, and we're done. I'm actually making like a time by time by time playlist of what's going to be played because I'm like, I want the music in the background to represent the shit that we like. People usually don't bother that hard, but like, fuck, man, music.
Yeah, dude, music.
I want
music
people to
is
listen to a
just
song and be like, okay, that's something that Mark likes, and not just like, oh, this is some dope dance wedding music or whatever.
Top-
It's like, no,
Top
this is-
20 America. All right.
What? What? No? What's wrong?
Oh, we're not gonna do at the dragon.
Oh, dude, did he already stab the dragon? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
an
no,
axe?
you're right. That's a sword. No, that's his other sword. Don't worry about it. hang
That
on.
is definitely the penisiest penis I've ever seen.
Well, that's me getting demonetized.
Penis makes you lose control.
That's me getting demonetized again, right there. You just saw it happen. How are these legs? You like these calf muscles, dude?
Oh yeah, dude, perfect.
They a little misshapen, but they out there.
Do we want to stay on the topic of music, or should we move?
I mean, I think
I thought we were moving on to getting Ian demonetized.
don't worry, I'll take care of that myself.
Okay.
You are correct.
I think yeah, we've covered for the most part. Like we'll always have things to say about music, you know what I mean? So I'm sure that at some point we'll revisit the topic of music, if only to talk about specific songs we like. But this has certainly been like an overall good like narration of how we personally feel about music, which is what I want to focus on like in these early episodes and stuff, is like how we feel about things and how the way we feel about these things kind of affects us. You know what I mean? Like, if music didn't play such a big part in your life, Mark, I don't think that you would probably be putting so much time in the playlist for your wedding. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's just something that like especially people that, there's a lot that goes into a wedding. They'd be like, okay, this isn't even important. And to me, it was like, no, this is the thing I'm going to spend the most time on.
Yeah, exactly. It's stuff like that. So I'm happy with that. If you guys are happy with that, welcome to the podcast where we don't know what a smooth transition is, so we're not doing one.
Well, what's your next thing? I can.
Oh, you're gonna transition us? I'm not cutting this, by the way. So they're gonna hear me say, well, "We don't know what a smooth transition is," followed by,
No, I know.
"Don't."
I know.
All right, good.
Yeah.
The next thing is stuff that people say that pisses us off, like common sayings and shit like that.
So, and I always have a problem when people are talking to me about music, asking me, "What's your favorite genre? What's your favorite genre?" And honestly, that's something I hate people asking me. Really, it's one of the things I hate the most that people say, and everybody says it. What are some things that people say to you guys just all the time that you tend to dislike?
Well, that was really good. We should keep keep
Yeah,
going around.
yeah,
For
yeah, dude. You should.
you should stick around, man. It's almost like we're bringing you on permanently. I talked briefly last week about things that people say that piss me off. Like I still think the whole like life's not fair thing is still blown way out of proportion. The thing where it's like, oh well, life's not fair, and then you look at it and you examine it, and it's like the people who are constantly saying that life's not fair are the same people who have the, I guess, quote unquote unique ability to make life fair, but then are just using the excuse that it's not fair to continue in their own like philanthropic bullshit. You know what I mean? I did not use the word philanthropic right, by the way, but you get what I'm saying.
It's definitely quite the shortcut to just say life's not fair and then kind of shut you up after that. I've said things along those lines, but it's always come from like some sort of discussion or lecture or something where it's like, hey, here's how life is bullshit and here's what you can do about it. But yes, I know what you mean, where people are just like, life's not fair, and then it's like, okay, well, thanks. I mean, I'm really glad you could do this for me or not do this for me and just be an asshole and tell me life's not fair.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. is people not wanting to do something for you, and so they just don't, and instead they just say, "Oh well, life's not fair. You can like eat a fat one," basically. I don't think I'm going much further in this dragon, to be honest with you. I think this is the pinnacle of my dragon ability.
You're not even gonna give him wings?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Where the wings at?
All right, you're right. I do got to give him wings.
Or he's not a dragon, you know?
Make this full screen.
Also, I love how happy this knight is. I've never seen a knight right into battle happier than this guy.
He's excited to be there, you know what I mean?
Oh, is he like one of the bench ones? He's like coach, and then he's like, all right, well, everybody else got roasted by the fucking dragon. So
oh no, I drew the dragon at the top of the screen, so he's not rounded. He's just this.
He's just this.
Jesus.
Like, when it comes to stuff that people say that just pisses me off, man, I hate when people say, like, I'll pray for you. I don't really care like what you believe in, right? But like I just hate when people say that, because it's like, why you gotta pray for me? Like I realize like that they mean well by it, like it's not something that they're doing that's like
to spite you or something.
Yeah. It's not like they're doing it to irritate me, or it's something that they're trying to say like, oh, like I'm thinking of you, but it's like, like I just don't like I'll pray for you for whatever reason. That's always irked me, and I just wish people would just be like, oh, like I hope things are gonna go well, or
hope things get better.
There are just so many alternatives that people could say without that. It's like, oh, thanks for praying for me. I don't know how to feel about that. As someone that doesn't pray, as someone that isn't a Christian or anything like that, it's like, it's like it feels like they're more making it about themselves.
I can see that.
I'm wondering, see, this is something where, by the way, you guys are around the same age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I when I was your age, no, but I mean, hell, when I was your age, I was in college. That's like a very significant period of my life, and I was 100% in agreement with what you're saying now. Like, it got on my nerves. I hated it. When my mother would say it, I'd be like, just don't, like, stop. Like, don't say that shit. But one thing I've realized is, as I've like heard more people say this, or have all these different beliefs and exercise these beliefs in certain ways, that some people can just be these massive assholes and yet agree with you philosophically on so much of what you believe. And then somebody can have this like wildly different life viewpoint and come at it from a completely different angle and be like the most well-meaning, nicest people ever. So I started to, I met all these people of different beliefs, met very deeply religious people who were very kind, met religious people who are complete assholes, and so on and so forth. And I started to realize that like the way people express themselves are so wildly different that nowadays, if somebody says like, "Oh, I'm going to pray for you," I'm actually really happy to hear that they're going to put that much thought into something and do what they believe honestly helps me. You know what I mean? Like, these are people who their first option would be to actually help me in some concrete way. But failing that, because they cannot, they go along this other sort of back road and be like, well, at the very least, I can do this. And this is what I'm offering to do for you. And you meet so many assholes in your life that the people that kind of extend out and do something like that, I've started to be like, okay, you know what? There's actually a lot worth it there. Anyway, that being said, back in university, I was just not a fan of that at all. Like, back when I was 19, 20, 21, I was just like, shut up. No, it's not going to work for me.
Yeah, I can 100% see where you're coming from. I just, like, I've always just gotten irritated because there's like prayer is such a big part of religion, right? And it's like, I can understand, like, it's a genuine thing that they're trying to do. I just wish that people, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's weird because on one hand, they're trying to be nice and all that, but it still irritates me regardless. Like, I try to not let it irritate me, but it does.
That's fine.
I haven't talked on this very much other than the not fair thing or the fair thing, but I think even bigger than the fair thing, something I genuinely hate is when someone tries to take away from other people or it's not acting as the fun police, but they come in and they say something with the sole intention of being the better person. You know what I mean? It's this classic case of like, if you take, and I can't believe I'm about to use this as a reference, something like Minecraft Mondays, where a bunch of famous YouTubers and like internet celebrities get together and they play Minecraft and they compete for money every week. It's like that, but then you have one person in the chat whose name I'm not going to use because they'll never see this video. Haha, you can't come get me. And they say, oh, I don't know why everyone is being so competitive about this or taking this so seriously. The winner should just donate all the money to charity anyway. It's like, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to suck the fun out of this just so that you can be like, oh, well, I was like the biggest person there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Is it true that the money should probably go to charity? Sure, whatever. But like, it's up to the people who like competed here and wanted to win. You know what I mean? Like, you can't try and guilt trip them into giving that money away. And this is coming from someone who was incredibly poor for a very long time and who lived off of like state services and shit just so that he could get through the life. Like, you shouldn't use charity as an excuse to like suck away other people's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even then, like like with that, like being poor, like I remember my mom told me I should apply for food stamps, and I was like, no, I don't need to apply for food stamps. I'm not like that desperate, you know.
Yeah.
Like like charity is about other people. It's not just like when I think charity, I could literally be the most needy person on the planet. I could have every disease and literally be about to die, and I would still likely be thinking about other people. Now, obviously, I'm not in that situation, so I'm not going to be like, yeah, that's what I do. But like charity is about other people, you know,
Yeah.
not just like, the needy. It's just about other people
That's
when
a fair
I think
point.
about charity.
No, that's a very good point. Is that a lot? I've never thought about it that way. You know what I mean? But you're right. Charity is more than just like helping the needy. Charity is just helping people. You know what I mean? And that's what it should be. Don't. I'm not saying we shouldn't help the needy, but I'm just saying that the perception of charity needs to change in some of its key ways to help other people. You know what I mean? And like to be charity, I guess.
Like we're all just people trying to get by, regardless as to whether or not you're needy or not. Like we're all people, right? And we all have things that we need to survive, that we need to get by. And it's like I've always thought like, oh, like I don't need charity, and like I think my mother's the same way, and I was kind of raised that way. Like there comes a point where like you may be dirt poor, but you still don't want a handout because there's other people out there who are more poor than you know.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I feel like we're getting off topic, but
no, it's true. It's the same thing like with what Ian said with, you know, yeah, there's people out there more poor, and also there's people out there more rich than the guys that are competing and having this competition. It's like,
yeah,
oh, wait, like this specific money has to go to Joe. Like, why are you doing this?
That's yeah.
Like,
why are you doing this if you think that this money should go to charity? If you're competing in a competition with the sole intention of giving that money to charity, that is fantastic. That is amazing. That is on you, though. You should not put that expectation and that burden on the other people competing who might be competing to like feed their fucking like family and shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly, because then suddenly you're putting that burden. Like, okay, why that competition? Why not this other competition? Why not this other competition? And now all of a sudden we got like, all right, where are we going with this?
Yeah, exactly. That's how you get people with like. That's how you get people with the kind of mental state where it's like, I can't worry about myself. There's too many other people I have to worry about, and they kind of lose that self-preservation instinct, which is a serious problem. You know what I mean? Like, because like it's something that everyone is meant to have for a very specific reason, and I think personally that this does tie in, this self-preservation thing does tie in with this kind of charity conversation because. Without self-preservation, you can't tell when it's okay for you to donate to charity. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have the necessary compass to say that you are in the correct position to be able to donate to this charity and that to be helpful and not detrimental to yourself, if that makes sense. You see, what's happened is I think my internet is cut out. Well,
Oh, no.
yeah. I heard like maybe one word in that whole like last two sentences.
fuck.
I mean, you're probably recording it just fine.
I recorded it just fine, and I thought what I said was quote unquote like r/shower thoughts worthy, but fuck it, I'm not repeating it. You know what I mean?
We'll see it in the video.
Yeah. Also, Dragon's done.
Where are the wings?
Read it.
Picture wings here. I can't picture wings. It's actually a picture. Put some wings on it.
Oh, okay. Hang on, wait. I forgot. Hang on, wait. Let me save this as is. You guys can keep going, by the way. Keep talking while I do this.
And with that, is there anything else that y'all can think of that annoys you that people say?
No, not off the top of my head. That was a good kind of sidebar into religion and beliefs and all that, charity and everything too. That really went into its own direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is what something would like that do. When you go something general, with hey, what do people say that piss you off? It kind of goes into what do people believe that piss you off, and then we go in from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Belief is a whole different thing than what you're actually saying.
Yeah, but that was the expectation. You know what I mean? Is like these generalized topics that just because we're not used to it get us talking. You know what I mean? Like very few people spend their days just talking in front of like a microphone or something like that. I know me and the three of us have this kind of unique thing where we do that. I know Jin, you record a lot, so you do it a lot, both in your like everyday job and online. And then I do it a lot because I stream occasionally. I do the podcast. I do voice acting and recording and stuff. And then Dustin, you're just online a lot and just talk a lot. And then you work at McDonald's, so you're probably talking in the drive-thru.
Yep. Oh, yep. You know me, dude. I've gotten to the point where I don't even care. Today I said, "Welcome to McDustin," and I didn't even realize until I had said it.
McDustin.
And I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. And the lady who I was taking the order at, like, I don't even think she realized what I said.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. I'm sorry.
McDustin.
It got real slow towards the end there.
Oh, yeah. Does it usually though? Like, is that?
It depends. It was just like felt like the first like 4 hours of the shift just flew by, and then I was like, "Oh, hey, halfway through," and then it's like, "All right, we're gonna take forever to get through the rest of the shift now. It's gonna feel like days." God, man, I got work stuff that I can think of, but that's about it.
That's fair. I guess we'll move on to the last topic, and I haven't been keeping a timer on how long we've been going, because that would make sense. But we started this call. Hang on, at 8:22. So we're more or less on par. We're a little quick, but we're for the most part on par. Number 3. We'll jump right to that. You know what I mean? Because that's numerical order, and it just makes sense.
I mean, there's nothing else. So
that's you're right. But you use the body you have, not the body you want. What thoughts on that?
Sorry, it was cut out for a second there, so I was confused.
You use the body you have, not the body you want. He's just reading off the last thing.
Oh, gotcha.
He cut out. I know what he was trying to say, though.
Thank you.
Pig and I are connected.
Thank you, handsome boy. Fucking cutie.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, man. Like. I
don't know, man.
Like, your body is always going to be subject to change, right? Like, your body has a big work in progress, like, sticker slapped on it your whole life. What are you laughing about? I can't look at the picture. Anyway, like, your body is a big work in progress your entire life. It's always changing. It's always going to change. And yes, we may, as humans, have some influence on that. Maybe we want to, be more physically active, or, maybe we want to lift more weights, or maybe we just want to sit around, and, like, maybe we have a higher metabolism. Like, it doesn't really matter, ultimately, because our body is, like, it's just our body, and, like, I know personally I've changed quite a bit in the last year. I've been usually a pretty skinny guy for like 4 years because I ran long distance cross country and track, and then I stopped everything and I gained like 40 pounds, which was like a fairly big portion of what I was before. And like, while initially that bothered me, I think I'm at the point where it's like, like I don't really care that I gained weight so much as that I'm just don't want to get like unhealthy, which like I feel like I can manage. But like it's my body, I'm not going to be upset about the fact that I've gained weight or feel like I'm less of a person because I'm a little heavier than I was before. Like ultimately, none of that matters, and it just is what it is.
Yeah, there's a really, really interesting life balance, which I personally believe everyone should have, which is accepting yourself for who you are and adapting to that to be the best version of yourself, and enjoying being yourself in that moment, and also at the same time striving to be better. It's almost like a paradox, but I think if that's your mindset, you kind of go far in life. That's what I try and exercise my not physically exercise. That's what I try and practice.
Not physically
I catch me-
exercise,
I-
but I
It's
exercise.
not gonna catch me physically
me-
doing nothing.
Yeah, let me clarify. I do not. Well, I have been in the past 2 weeks because I want to look good the past few weeks because I want to look decent on my wedding. So I was like, I'll do a little something every single day. If it makes me thinner by like 5 pounds or whatever, great. If it doesn't, great. Whatever. I mean, I'm getting healthier anyway. So
Yeah.
there's really no way to lose. So I've tried to do a little bit of working out every single day for the past few weeks. But that's what I mean is. I'm fine with the way I look. I get I get people going both ways with how I look. If I were to listen to people, which isn't really that important anyway, when it comes to how you look, it really isn't. But like I'm perfectly happy with it. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I was so thin 9 years ago. Like I should, maybe I can try and get back to that. And so every once in a while, I'll try and get into that mindset. It gets to the point where if I work out a day that I work out or I do some sort of exercising, I feel good about myself. I'm like, yes, I did something. And then the days that I don't, I'm like, I didn't do great today. Like that kind of stuff. And I think that's a perfectly fine way to look at it, as long as you're not hating yourself for it. Like, oh my God, what's the point of exercising? I'm going to look like shit forever. It's like, well, it's healthy.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and
Yeah.
When I wrote this statement, or I found this statement, because I didn't write it, I'm not creative enough to write that statement. I just don't remember where I found it at this point. I found it with the intention of kind of starting this conversation on how people view their bodies, right? And you guys fell directly into that trap of doing that, just so I could talk about about that, right?
Sure.
And that's basically how I frame everything. Is I've framed this in a way to trick you into talking about what I want to talk about. Thank you for joining me on the podcast.
We've been fooled.
We've been bamboozled. Dare I say tricked? Also, the dragon's done. Before I get into what I'm about to say.
Yeah, that is a great wing.
It is pretty impressive. Can we get a tail? Can we get a tail?
No, I'm not. Oh, fuck. All right, I can do a tail. Hang on. You ready for the tail? I'll do it right now, right for you. You ready?
You have like a little corgi tail if you want.
Oh no. That's great.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I can finish his leg too.
He's got a whole tree for a leg, and then the rest of his body is...
What a terrible creation we've brought into this world. What an awful thing to subjugate.
Hold on. We brought it to this world. I didn't draw that.
You gave me the idea.
I guess I'm partially responsible.
This is our son. I hope you like him. Oh, what's his name? What's his name, real quick?
Yeah, before we continue, we gotta name the dragon.
Or we can come back to the name, I guess. It's your guys' idea. It's your call.
Let's call him McDustin.
McDustins. Oh my god, dude. I couldn't believe I said that.
Yes. That's funny.
All right.
McDustin.
So what trap did we fall into here?
Yeah,
I hope
what
it's not the
was
kind of
big
trap that I'm used.
There you go. Named it.
What?
I named it.
Well,
There it is, McDust.
But I wanted to talk about this whole body positivity thing and this whole thing that that I've myself have been working on recently. You know what I mean? Because this has been a large part of the last couple of weeks, and I guess I'll explain the background on that a little bit. Is I went, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, if that long, I went on a trip into the Texas mountains, right? Which is why I was I was out of town for a period of time, and I spent that time up in the mountains with some close friends of mine. And that trip did not go well for me. You know what I mean? Like it was overall a negative experience for me and for my like mental health at the time. Like I went up there to relax and I came back feeling like far opposite of relaxed.
Sure.
And so once I got back, I slipped super hard. I didn't slip. I fucking dove like face first, Michael Phelps style, fucking 10 across the board from the swimming judges as I fucking dove into this pool of depression and just like kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. And it was rough and dark for a long time. But after a certain point, I woke up one day and I kind of came to the conclusion after talking with my mom a little bit that like I came to the conclusion on two things. The first thing was that I just got to get the fuck over it. Like, I just have to. And the second thing was that I was irrationally angry at the people that were there with me when it wasn't their fault. It wasn't the one person in specific fault. It was the two other people's fault, and I am still very much angry at them because they are the reason I did not have a good time, and they are the reason my friend did not have a good time. At least that's how I feel.
Right.
Maybe my friend would say something different, but at the end of the day, I like I said, I woke up, I talked to my mom, and I was like, I got to get over it. I got to stop being mad at my friend. It's not her fault. I'm just I'm redirecting this depression into like anger at my friend, which is not healthy for my friend or for me to be doing at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that leads into this whole body positivity thing for me because that's what started this. I don't want to say kick because it sounds weird, but this sort of mentality where I gotta be better about like accepting compliments, about being body positive towards myself, and just generally being happier. So like, you guys have probably noticed that I in the circles I hang out with, I'm a lot more comfortable and willing to show my face, I guess. And that's me like forcing myself to be body positive. You know what I mean? Like a month ago, I would never do that ever. You wouldn't catch a photo of me anywhere. Like even in my own house, right? Go ahead. What were you saying, Dustin, on that?
I was just gonna say I think your internet's going doo doo because I can hear like every other. Maybe it's my internet.
I might still be downloading Smite in the background. Okay, I'm not. Well, we're supposed to play Smite after this. Me, Dustin, and a few others, but. But basically, like this, I just started posting my face more. I started accepting people's compliments without being like, oh, they're like not being serious or they're being sarcastic or whatever, or like that kind of negative, that negative comment, you know, that you would make in your head, if that makes sense. And eventually I'm at the point now where I don't know when I've been more confident and more body positive to myself. And it's crazy to view, you know, a single month of not turning down every compliment and being ashamed to show my face, you know, will do for confidence. You know what I mean? And if there was any advice I could give to anybody, it's like you gotta. At this point, we're kind of winding down the podcast. So if you ever listen to any part of this podcast and you've gotten here, like take this as my advice at this point. Train yourself to be body positive. Because I'm not going to say it's as easy as just being body positive, because being body positive and being like nice to yourself is really fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like even for, I feel, quote unquote normal people, or whatever the whatever normalcy accounts for these days, it's still hard to be nice to yourself. And it's really something you have to teach yourself how to do, I feel like. And it's just small steps, you know. It's just don't shit all over yourself when you take a nice selfie. Just be like, that's a nice selfie. You don't have to show it to anybody. Just acknowledge that you look nice in a photo every once in a while. You know what I mean? Baby steps like that. And, it's stuff like that that will help you go far, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And to piggyback off that, confidence is cyclical. It's this really weird thing where your confidence will attract people's compliments, and people's compliments will raise your confidence, and so on and so forth, until you just kind of keep building, and confidence starts becoming natural. I used to fake being confident, and then one day I stopped faking it because faking it made me more dynamic and more attractive to people. Not physically attractive, but attractive with like, I want to hang out with that guy because he's like, feeling good about himself and laughing and having a good time with us. And, I can take shots at him and he'll laugh at them, which is really fun. So, so people would want to hang out with you and things like that. And they start paying you compliments, and then you start, growing confident. And again, it's just completely cyclical. So sometimes you got to fake it a little bit, but that'll get you far.
Exactly. Fake confidence.
The only thing is confidence is not being an asshole. You need to be careful about that. If you're like, like let's say somebody says something like, if we're talking body or exercising or whatever, it'd be something like, hey, you, do you hit the gym or whatever, and then you go like, oh, I don't need to hit the gym. Like, I know I look great. I know I look awesome. Like, I don't need to do that shit. People will be like, oh, well, fuck you then. Like, what? You know what I mean?
Sorry, real quick. Fuck you, Dustin.
Yeah. Huh?
Fuck Dustin. He knows what he did. He posted something in my Discord.
Oh.
He got me is what he did. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's like, that's totally different. But, someone comes up to, because I don't go to the fucking gym, but somebody comes up to me and they're like, hey, like, oh, I'm in the gym doing this. So what about you? Do you? And my answer is usually like, oh man, like, I know I should, but can't get my ass up out of bed early enough. Like, I'll make a joke about it, and there's confidence behind that because it still kind of says, I'm happy and confident enough with how I look, and it's fine. But I'm not like shitting on the other person, like, oh, my body, whatever, and then turning that person away, being like, hey, I was just trying to make casual conversation, and also exercising is healthy, so the fuck. It's being confident, but don't be a dick, like, that's where I see some things about body positivity, which is something I believe in 100%, because you should feel good about yourself. But you'll see these things online about body positivity going horribly fucking wrong, and it's just like, okay, now you're going too far. Relax. Like,
yeah, there's a difference, I think, what you're getting at, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a difference between body positivity and body elitism. You know what I mean?
There you go. Okay, yeah.
And you have people who have taken body positivity to this like elitism level where they're like, oh, my body is the pinnacle of all bodies. All bodies should have claimed to be my body. And it's like, my man, please calm down. You're lifting like barely, my man, you're lifting barely 110 right now. Please stop. All right? Don't do this. Like, you've gone too far. And that's a problem in and of itself, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I think this is the horse that we've conversed enough about, so we're gonna go ahead and call it here pretty soon. But I can't end an episode without checking on the soft boys' mental health. Dustin.
Oh yep.
Dustin.
Oh yep.
How you doing?
Yes.
We talking green, good, yellow, and mediocre, red, not so hot. What's up, dog? Talk to us.
What's in between green and yellow?
Blello.
Baby poopy.
Blello. All right, I'm feeling blello right now.
I should have said
on one hand,
because that's got green and yellow.
Blello?
Grello, yeah.
Grello. All right, I'm feeling grello because on one hand, get ready to go back to school, and I'm excited to move in, and I'm so ready to not be at home anymore.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I also currently hate my life because I have to work at McDonald's, and McDonald's sucks big McChicken doo doo and is not enjoyable. And you know, it's kind of getting to that point because I've been there for so long that it's like, man, I gotta get out of this joint. I just can't be here no more, you know. And I can never be free again.
No, dude.
That makes sense. Gotta make those ambitions for yourself. I totally understand. I mean, you learn a lot working in a job like that, though. I even had my dad once. Hey, go work somewhere like McDonald's at some point. Build some freaking character. Not everything's gonna be like handed out for to you and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, but I don't want it. It's hard. So I found some bullshit. Because it's true. Working fucking McDonald's is hard, man.
Working? Oh wow, dude! I just heard your Canadian accent come out a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you sounded.
I heard it earlier too.
Yeah, it sounded just like my friend. I have another friend who's Canadian. It sounded just like him for a second.
Gotta go out for a rip sometime.
You gotta go out for a rip sometimes, eh?
Yeah, we're going out for a rip there.
Going out for a rip? But
all right, you got me.
What about you, Mark?
No, things are good. Like really busy, but good. And that's pretty much all that it is. Like right now, if I were to think about something that I'm not feeling too hot about, it's all the shit that's coming for me next week. It's the fact that tomorrow's going to be quite the busy day and filled with a lot of turmoil and whatnot. But really, this is all just life upkeep, work, a big day coming up that I have to prepare for. It's all kinds of stuff like that. Where I am at the moment mentally is pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. Myself, I'm pretty green right now, man. I'm doing pretty well, which is unusual. No, you know what? It's not unusual recently. I started in with that negativity, but you got to catch that shit before it grows.
Yeah.
But no, I'm green right now. It's going really well. I'm really happy with how the podcast is progressing. I have people that are like going out of their way to ask me when the next episode of the podcast is coming out, and that's fucking awesome. That's got me really excited. Like I love that the people that watch this podcast are enjoying this podcast. I hope that we get just as many views as we did the last one. I don't even care if it's like one more view. If we get even the same amount of views, I'll be happy. You know what I mean?
I mean, we got like 5 views, dog. I don't know how many we got. Oh, dude, that's up there. I can't even count that high.
Yeah, but we're nobodies, so that is kind of a big deal. Me and you are, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, we're legitimately just some dudes with a podcast, and we got 20 other whole ass human beings to watch our podcast. That's just crazy to me.
That's more viewers than I had on session 1 of Tabletopus.
Exactly. But we'll go ahead and call it there. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You can catch us all next week at the same time and same place here on the Soft Boy Social YouTube channel. Next week we might have a background. Next week I might draw another shitty image. Tune in next week and find out.
Hell yeah.